Hello everybody, this is John Sheff, assistant golf professional here at Tchefuncta Country Club, and I wanted to take you through the swing of Adam Scott. He's won 2 tournaments in a row, Honda Classic and most recently the WGC Cadillac Championship at Trump National Doral. Two very difficult places to play, and he played them very well. The only ball I think he hit in the water was at the Honda Classic, on that tough par 3, I believe the 15th. So he struck the ball extremely well, putted it very well, had a crucial putt on the 18th at Doral to win about 7 or 8 feet, and he made it to win over Bubba Watson. So I've got him down the line here on top, and then face on here on the bottom. And first of all, I'm just going to run his swing through here so you can take a look. I mean, just a beautiful golf swing. Whenever he is near the top of the leaderboard, you're going to hear the announcers always comment about what a great looking swing he has. And really, I think it's one of the best, if not the best, on PGA Tour, especially when he's winning like he is now. So I want to take you through a couple things. First of all, we're going to look at the face-on view at the bottom. I'm going to talk about something that's been talked about a little bit in the golf instruction world, and that's head movement. Now, a lot of us have been told to keep your head steady, don't let it move, but we're going to see here with Adam Scott that he moves his head quite a bit. The head can move in 6 different ways. It can move up and down, left and right, and then it can rotate to the left and rotate to the right. So we're going to see what Adam Scott does here. I've drawn a circle around his head. Let me zoom in here a little bit more so we can get a better look. So as he goes back, you're going to see right away he's moving his head laterally to the left. So he's moving his head that way, right out of the gates. Then as he gets to the top of the swing, you've noticed that his head has rotated around in this direction there. Okay, so he's already moved laterally to the left and rotated it as well. So he's moved it in 2 different ways already, and we're just at the top of his backswing. Now, as we start coming down, the head will move back to our right, back into that circle there, back into the middle. And also, you might not see this in real time, but his head does start to move down at that point right there. You can see it start to lower. So he has moved it to the left, as well as rotated it to the left. And now he's moved it back to our right, and it's moved down as well. So he's already moved it 4 different ways, and we're not even to impact yet. So it continues to lower, coming right in here just before impact where the club's about hip high. Beautiful position right there. The right heel is coming off the ground, lower body starting to unwind. And take note here, watch this. I'm actually going to get rid of this head bubble here and draw another line right along the side of his head. Let me get a little closer there. Oops. Right along the side of his head right there. And let's take a note at what his head does coming into impact. Notice how it backs away from that. Gets right up to that line, right to there, and then if I zoom in a little bit more, watch his head actually back away from that line a little bit. And that is very common with all the greatest drivers on the PGA Tour right now. Jordan Spieth does it quite a bit. So you can see him gap away from that line a little bit. So he's moved his head in 5 different ways. Okay? And now as we come through, he's allowing his head to rotate to the right, to our right. So there's the 6th different way. So Adam Scott has successfully moved his head 6 different ways in his golf swing. So I think that busts the myth of keeping your head steady. I do like the swing thought of keeping your head steady if you tend to sway off the ball. So if your head is getting completely out of that head bubble, then it's a good idea to try and keep your head a little bit more steady. But we have to realize our head needs to rotate naturally. The head really has its own swing, so we need to allow it to rotate naturally. And a great finish there, great balance, and his right toe is sticking the ground, his right heel is off the ground. So let's take a look quickly here at the top, the down the line view. I draw a couple lines here. Okay. As you can see going back, that club head really starts right along that green line and then moves slightly above it. So the hands really go a little bit out. Now Adam Scott's swing, back when he first got on tour, the hands really went out away from him. And I know he's worked on that hard. He's really tightened up his swing in the past 4 years. Ever since he won the Masters, it's looked really good. Perfect posture here. The 4 flexes that I like to go by. There's flex in the ankles, flex in the knees, flex in the hips, and a little bit of flex in the neck. We don't want to keep it super, super straight, so Adam Scott looks really good to go there. Club head goes above that line going back, gets to the top. His left arm is slightly above his shoulder plane, which I see with some of the longest drivers on the PGA Tour. So you can see how those two do not match up, so that's not a fundamental. And then as he starts down here, the last thing I want you to take note of is really how he drops that club underneath his right shoulder. So those hands really move down and towards the ball. And a lot of us at home, draw a circle there on his right shoulder, a lot of us at home will get the club shaft traveling through this area here, through that right shoulder, which leads to more of a slice swing. Adam Scott likes to work the ball right to left, but can work it both ways since his club is really on plane. And coming into the ball, just a perfect position there. You can see how his hips have unwound there in that direction. Shoulders are still pretty square, a little bit open, as they should be. Right heel coming off the ground, just a full rotation, and then lastly, just a full release of the club right here. I mean, just a beautiful position right there. Club exiting back to the left and around him. Here, club's exiting through the shoulder plane. So really using his body very well. And then most importantly, a perfect balanced finish. And he can hold that until the shot, until the ball reaches the ground. So just a beautiful looking swing. I'm going to run it through for you one more time. Feel free to ask me anytime any questions about Adam Scott's swing or anybody else's swing, because we love to look at them here. But once again, this is a swing that's won back-to-back tournaments on the PGA Tour, which is so hard to do. Just a beautiful looking golf swing. So stay tuned for more tips from the pros and more swing analysis.